So we have recently seen the impressive performance of RTX Voice, and if you haven't tried it or don't know about it, I will be demonstrating that in this video. But it is basically an application that can remove the background noise from your microphone's audio, and the first time anyone hears the difference, they get really blown away by how well it works, because it basically cancels almost all of the noise from your microphone without making it sound unnatural, and it almost feels like magic, for the lack of a better word. This is achieved with the power of artificial intelligence, and generally it is a buzzword that makes me skeptical, but it does work very well with the dedicated AI cores in the RTX cards. The only drawback to this technology is that it requires an Nvidia RTX card, and even their top-end GPUs like my RTX 2080 Ti can take an average of 7% hit on the performance when you use it. And most other people are not using the most expensive graphic cards, and for them it can be an 11% performance hit or even a 15 to 20% reduction in performance if you try to make it work with older GTX cards. This can become a serious issue if you are using it on laptops, where you will see a much bigger hit on performance and battery life, and you may not even have a card that can support RTX Voice. So today we are going to check out ASUS AI noise cancellation, which is offered in different ways on their products. So first we of course have these headsets which have this AI noise cancellation mic, which I tested recently. Then we have their newer motherboards which have this feature built in, so it will work with any mic that you connect to the motherboard. In this video we are going to use their new TUF B550 motherboard, but it will also be available on their newer releases. Lastly, we also have this small AI noise cancelling mic adapter, which will allow you to use this feature with any device without having an ASUS headset or motherboard. And the really great thing about it is that you can also use it with your phone, where it is impossible to get this feature, which really makes this feature much more accessible and versatile. But all of this discussion about how good this is useless unless these AI noise cancelling products can work as well as RTX Voice, and that is what we are going to test in today's video. Hey guys, I am Siddharth, and let's get started. So to test the performance of all these different ways of noise cancellation today, we are going to have a series of tests. I will show you what the raw sound input is like with my lav mic, and then I will switch to the microphones with one of these techniques, and you can hear how effectively each of them manages to cancel out the noise. We have this ROG Strix Go headset for the inbuilt AI noise cancelling test, and for all other tests we will use this JBL Quantum 100 which I reviewed recently, and I will plug it into different motherboards and the adapter. For testing it with the TUF B550 motherboard, I actually had to build a complete PC to test it properly, so I would really appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel with bell icon, because that took a lot of effort for a video of this kind. Now India is a country where we have lots of dogs. Many people have dogs as pets, and we also have a lot of dogs on the streets, and sometimes there are groups of them and they have wars between different gangs at night, so they bark a lot, and this really creates an unprofessional environment, especially when I am recording these videos. If you are on a call, then it also doesn't sound very pleasant, and for gaming you will already have many of your teammates shouting on their mics, so you don't need extra dog barks added to your audio. So we are going to have a dog barking test, and for that we have this dog. And I know that you must be thinking that this isn't a real dog, and that is right, this is a soft toy version. But we will have a Bluetooth speaker that will simulate the barking of this dog, so let's check out how different methods are able to cancel this noise out. So this is what the raw audio sounds like, and I will let you hear how loud the dog is. Now we are using RTX Voice with my JBL Quantum 100 plugged into my ROG Maximus 11 Hero, and we have RTX Voice enabled with my Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti, and this is what it sounds like using RTX Voice. Now we are using the ROG Strix Go 2.4 Electropunk headphone, and this is what it sounds like with the AI noise cancellation on this headset, and I think it should be able to cancel out the noise well, because I have tested it before. Now we have the dog barking again 1.5 feet away from me, and this is what it sounds like with the ASUS AI noise cancellation mic plugged into the TUF B550 motherboard, and I am hoping that this is able to cancel out the noise well. We are making the dog bark again for the final test, and this time we are using the ASUS AI noise cancellation mic adapter, and I have my JBL Quantum 100 headphone plugged into it, and this is what it sounds like with this adapter. So that was it for our dog barking test, but now we are going to have an even more intense test, and I am going to play music on my smartphone at its highest volume and keep it close to mic. So this should be very difficult to cancel out for these AI devices. But let's start with RTX voice, and I will let you hear how loud this is with my lav mic. So now we are using RTX voice with my JBL Quantum 100 plugged into my ROG Maximus 11 Hero, and we have the RTX voice enabled with my Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti, and this is what it sounds like using RTX voice. Now we are using the ROG Strix Go 2.4 Electropunk headphone, and this is what it sounds like with AI noise cancellation on this headset, and I think it should be able to cancel out the noise well because I have tested it before. Now I have my smartphone playing music again, and this is what it sounds like with the AI noise cancellation in the TUF B550 motherboard, and I am hoping that this is able to cancel the noise well. We are playing music on the smartphone on full volume for the final time, and this time we are using ASUS AI noise cancellation mic adapter, and I have my JBL Quantum 100 headphone plugged into it, and this is what it sounds like with this adapter. So these tests were pretty intense for these devices, but now we are going to have a more realistic test. So I am going to tap on this mechanical keyboard with red switches, and this is going to simulate you pressing keys on your keyboard while speaking on the mic, and I will let you hear what this sounds like without any noise cancellation. So now we are using RTX voice with my JBL Quantum 100 plugged into my ROG Maximus 11 Hero, and we have the RTX voice enabled with my Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti, and this is what it sounds like using RTX voice. Now we are using the ROG Strix Go 2.4 Electropunk headphone, and this is what it sounds like with the AI noise cancellation on this headset, and I think it should be very easy for this headset to cancel out. Now I am tapping on this mechanical keyboard again, and we are checking out how it sounds like with the ASUS B550 motherboard's AI noise cancellation, and if it is able to cancel the noise from these keys properly. I am tapping the keys hard on this mechanical keyboard again for the last time, and this time we are using the ASUS AI noise cancellation mic adapter, and I have my JBL Quantum 100 headphone plugged into it, and this is what this sounds like with this adapter. So that was a test that I think many gamers will relate to, and now we will have the final test, which involves simulating a crowded room. So we will have the Bluetooth speaker playing sounds of lots of people talking in a crowd, and we will see how well that gets cancelled. So this is what the raw audio sounds like with my live mic, and I will let you hear it for a few seconds. So now we are using RTX voice with my JBL Quantum 100 plugged into my ROG Maximus 11 Hero, and we have the RTX voice enabled with my Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti, and this is what it sounds like using RTX voice. Now we are using the ROG Strix Go 2.4 Electropunk headphone, and this is what it sounds like with the AI noise cancellation on this headset, and let's see how this headset performs, as I haven't done a similar test on it before. We have the crowd test now with the AI noise cancellation on the motherboard, and this is what it sounds like with my JBL Quantum 100 plugged directly into the TUF B550 motherboard. Now we are tolerating the not very pleasant noise from this crowd for the final time, and this time we are using ASUS AI noise cancellation mic adapter, and I have my JBL Quantum 100 headphone plugged into it, and this is what it sounds like with this adapter. So that was a long series of tests, and if you have watched till here without skipping, I really appreciate your patience. But that was not the end of these tests, as we have a final test where we will test how well this adapter works with iOS and Android devices. Now we are recording this into my iPad with the mic directly plugged into it, and I have music playing on my speakers, and this is what it sounds like. But now I have plugged the AI noise cancelling mic adapter to my iPad, and I still have music playing on my speakers, and this is what it sounds like, and it seems to work really well. And now we are repeating the same test again, but I have plugged my mic directly into my OnePlus 6, and I have music playing on my speakers, and this is what it sounds like. And now I have plugged the AI noise cancelling mic into my OnePlus 6, and I am recording with my microphone into it, and this is what it sounds like. I still have music playing on my speakers. So with laptops and PC, this adapter is going to work really well. On iOS it also works fine, but on Android I felt that the microphone signal was too hot, meaning that there was too much gain to it. and I am not sure if there is a way in software to lower the microphone gain. This was also the issue with the Strix Go headset when it was plugged into Android phones, so I am pretty sure that there is some issue with how Android is handling this, which might get fixed in future. But still, the result was pretty impressive, even if the voice didn't sound as natural as using it on PC or on iPad. Now, between RTX voice and all of the ASUS AI noise cancelling methods, I have not compared each of these tests individually with each other, because even I recorded all of this for the first time. But in the comparisons that I have made, I think all of these methods perform very closely, and even though one of these techniques might have better or worse performance than other in some areas, I think that all of them are close enough in comparison that you can use them interchangeably. So the RTX voice is really great, as you don't need anything extra to make it work as long as you have an Nvidia GPU that supports it, and I personally see most people using Nvidia GPUs, at least on PC. The performance hit is there, but if you are going to use it occasionally, then it is a pretty good option to have, especially as it doesn't cost anything extra, and for esports games, you may already have plenty of horsepower to spare. But all these ASUS products are also really cool, as there is no special hardware requirement. You can use it on AMD GPUs or on laptops that don't have hardware that supports it. The headset is of course offering the noise cancellation feature, but if you buy one of the newer ASUS motherboards, you basically don't have to do anything extra, and it will work in background without bothering you. Then finally, this dongle also adds this feature very conveniently, and you can use it to add this function to any device. I think for laptop users this will be really amazing, and on iOS devices this will also work well. You can't have AI noise cancellation in any other way on these devices, so being able to have this is really cool. All of these techniques will be very useful for anyone who is streaming or doesn't have a very quiet environment at home, and it can also be very useful for corporate professionals who have business calls they don't want animal sounds added to. And so that was finally it for this video. Let me know what you think about this comparison in the comment section below, and you could also share which technique you like the most. I'll try to have links to items featured in the video description. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or a thumbs down if you disliked it. Subscribe with bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.